All right, hopefully we're about to go live any second, Joe.
Cool.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this Digital Accountancy Community Facebook Live video. I hope you all had a good weekend and you're all safe and well. Delighted that I've got Joe David from Nephos Accountants with me today. Hi, Joe.
Hello, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. So the idea, if anyone new to this Facebook Live video, just to give a bit of background to it. So my business partner and I, James Howe, run the Digital Accountancy Show. And over the last couple of weeks, we've been trying to work on ideas on how we can help our 3,000 strong network that are coming to the show by providing kind of updates and information and sharing ideas with accountants during this current crisis that we're in. So we came up with the idea of putting together the Facebook community so people can get together and share ideas and what's going on and challenges and successes and things. So we got together. The Facebook community is now up to around over 200 members, which is great. And we're going to try our best to run these Facebook Lives on a regular basis in the mornings, roughly at the time that people have a coffee, so they can spend around kind of 15 minutes just speaking and listening to our guests on the community. So Joe, just before we kind of crack on, do you want to give people a bit of background and into your firm and kind of who you are and things? Would that be all right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So we're a firm based in Cheltenham in Gloucestershire in the southwest. Got about 200 clients or so. Been going about 6 years, and yeah, just fully kind of on the digital train. 98% zero client base. Majority of those on receipt bank. So yeah, very much on the digital side of things, very much on the using that to be more efficient and for us and for our clients as well. So my background is more management accounting than practice. So our business is very much focused on management information, business advice, and that sort of stuff. So we're looking to have more clients at the higher end rather than loads of clients at the lower end, if that makes sense. So set up our business for that model, really.
Right. Okay. So I'm guessing for you, Joe, the transition from working in the office to everyone working from home is a relatively smooth one.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the challenge, I'm sure everyone has this, but the real challenge has been the mindset of people kind of getting up in the morning and going to work and missing that office environment, not the actual physical doing of the work. The only thing we really had to do was bring our screens home because we wanted to have a screen rather than a laptop screen, So, and you know what it's like, when you work from home, I'm sure we've all done it, you work from home in the evening or at the weekend as, just to catch up on stuff. You sit on your sofa or, you're a bit distracted because, it's the weekend and you're just doing a bit of work. Whereas with this, for us, it was about making it the norm. So, kind of sitting at a desk or a kitchen table if you haven't got a desk, but having a screen there, having the laptop connected to the screen rather than just sitting on your sofa with your laptop on your lap. And actually the team have been really good and actually probably more productive because they're less distracted.
Oh, good. Did you do remote working anyway, Joe, as a firm?
No, not really. I mean, we had a couple of people that did days here and there, and we allow it flexibly if we need to because we can. But not as a rule. And the funny thing is though, like when we first started doing this, obviously when it all started happening, so we decided to do it just under a week before the government kind of forced it a little bit because we thought this is probably going to happen. So let's just get into it now so we can overcome any of the problems. And when we first did it, I kind of thought I could get used to this. It's quite nice being able to just literally roll into your desk in the morning and not have to worry about anything. But as the weeks have gone on, I actually am now starting to miss that office environment and miss that. So at first I was kind of like, maybe we could be remote. But I think now actually having that office and having that, coming in the morning and seeing everybody and chatting and that sort of stuff, it is better, I think, for us anyway.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things so whenever I used to speak to people around, so we also run a kind of a recruitment business as well as one of our kind of companies we run. And one of the things that people would always say when they're looking for kind of benefits and things was actually to work from home 1 day a week. And I think what this has done slightly is kind of accelerated kind of home working a little bit, or accountancy practices for the first time actually introducing this into the business as a idea that team members can work from home 1 day a week if they see that as a valuable kind of benefit to working there?
100%. I think the challenge that we've seen with a few firms in our area anyway is that they weren't set up to do that. Some of them, they weren't working on laptops, they were working on computers, or their networks weren't connected type thing properly. And we've, like I say, ours has always been, all our information is held on Office 365. So it's always been partly because I've always done a lot of work outside of work as well, and I've always been in and out of meetings and things. So I've made sure that from day one, pretty much, we could access everything anywhere. So I think that's the challenge, is the people that haven't been prepared to work from home because they're maybe bigger than us. We're seven people. So if you've got 50 people, maybe you wouldn't be so prepared. So I think those sorts of people have obviously been challenged by this. But it's also the mentality of the staff you've got. And that's, I know everybody would say it, but genuinely that's the one thing that I've been has made me so happy, is that the team have just been so dedicated and so supportive and so amazing in this whole process, that all they want to do is help our clients get through this and help this business.
That's great.
Continue. And I know everybody would say that, but I'm not one of these people just to say it for the sake of it. That is genuinely the truth. And I think that's the big thing. If you've got the right people, you can kind of do what you want, because they'll buy into it. And that's probably because I saw Grant Thornton have asked people to take pay cuts and laid off a couple of people and furloughed people, and it makes you think how were they just not set up for this? Were they not prepared for this? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in that size firm, it's hard to have the right people, isn't it? Because it's so big.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, given the current climate, Joe, like, how are you kind of generally finding things? Like, how are you finding business, clients and stuff? Like, what's the kind of morale like out there?
I mean, I'm a positive person, so I'm not going to sit here and say, how rubbish things are, because it's just not me as a person. I always think, you kind of get what you get out of life, what you put into it. So if you put in positivity and positive thought, naturally you're going to get positive things back. We've had one client out of our probably 150 retained clients say that they want to pause, and that person does tours in Thailand, like 18 to 30 tours in Thailand, Sri Lanka and Bali. Nobody's traveling out there, funnily enough. So he's had to come back to the UK, and he's got no work, and actually he's a good friend as well. So I've kind of said, yeah, cool, let's just pause it. He's the only person that's asked to pause. Everybody else has been okay, and I think part of that is because we generally did reach out to everybody. The team have rung every single client, and we said, or at least emailed if we couldn't get through, and said, we're here, do you need anything? We've been keeping things up to date on Facebook and LinkedIn and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I think that's been a big factor, is that because we've been so kind of proactive to say hello, even if we didn't know the answers, we'd ring them up and say, we don't know the answers, but we're here, and as soon as we do know them, we'll tell you, type thing. And I think that's been the biggest factor, that people, now the big thing for accountancy is, do they value you? That's been the switch over the last 5 years, 6 years, or whatever, is that compliance based to that value base. And I think because of the work that we've been doing in terms of, not just now, but throughout the whole time, it's been a relationship based approach, not a numbers based approach. Most of our clients have got an amazing relationship with us.
Right.
So we're the last person, in the nice sense, on the list to be cut, because they don't want to lose that sounding board. We'll speak to clients just as a chat. One client asked, this is a perfect example. One client asked a guy one of our team last week. They were just in conversation. They were talking about different revenue streams they could look down in order to kind of change the business. And yesterday he sent me a draft that he wants to send over to them with 5 different suggestions of things he thinks can help their business. Wow. That's not accountancy work. Do you know what I mean? That's just general business sense and general business support. And I think that's been the key.
Yeah. So for your firm, Joe, what does a kind of typical client look like? So where there are some firms that are heavily compliance based, kind of you kind of come away from that model slightly more down the management accounting route, and more engagement during the year and things.
Yeah, so I guess ideal client in the range of, which is a big range, but in the range of 250 to sort of 5 million, I would say. Typical client probably looks at like 750 to 2 million probably. But ones that, as weird as this might sound, ones that actually have a bit of an understanding about what accounts mean and what they are, because they value it, because they actually get the concept of what the financial numbers and plans can do for your business. And that's the key, is it's not those people, we've got loads of these that are, they just want you to file what they have to be filed. It's the people that say, no, I do actually understand, and actually challenge you as well. They expect more because they actually understand the basics. You can't just say, revenue is down 20%. They want to know why. And when we don't necessarily give them that explanation why, they then challenge us and say, how come you haven't highlighted this? Or,
right, okay.
So I think that's part of it as well, is having decent business owners that understand business and understand the value of what we do, and not just, like, say, number crunching.
Right, okay. And are you, when you're in these kind of potential meetings with clients, in these meetings with potential clients, are you fairly choosy on who you kind of bring on board as a firm?
We are starting to be, and we need to be more of it.
Right.
The problem I've got is I'm in a nice sense, I'm too nice. I just want to help people. I just want to help businesses. And if I see somebody sat in front of me that needs my help, I want to be able to do that. So that I do find difficult, because then I do take on non-profitable work sometimes, because I see that person and I go, they desperately need our help here. And we go above and beyond, and we do too much. We've got quite a few builders on our books, and we'll be ringing up Travis Perkins for them and getting copy invoices and getting statements, and we've got good contacts with them now, with the builders, because we've done it so often, and it's going a bit above and beyond. When that back return comes round, we say it's 15 grand. We then go away and make it as best we can, and go and get those invoices and things like that. So we probably go a bit too far, and that then comes across in the profitability. So we're starting to be more picky, and our marketing started to kind of lean towards, we rebranded last year, in July last year, to Nefos, from, we were just called DS Accountancy before, normal kind of boring accountancy firm name and all that sort of stuff. And we rebranded and repositioned ourselves deliberately to kind of, in the nicest sense, push us above the kind of the lower end of the spectrum in terms of fees. And we set minimum fees now, and we don't go below that. And so we've done quite a bit to do that, but I'm still easily swayed in a meeting, and I do get told off sometimes, even by the team, that I'm bringing on clients that we shouldn't have. It's that emotional connection as well,
Sure.
When it's your firm and when you want to help people, you kind of have that emotional connection. So I think sometimes it's better to send another member of the team who does it by the rules, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, quite. Are you using any technology to help you with that? The pricing side of things?
Like pricing side, yeah. So we use GoProposal and Practice Ignition at the moment. Mainly because I really like the GoProposal pricing tool, as in how they kind of calculate the pricing, and I just haven't got around to kind of building that myself yet. But I really like the proposal setup and the whole payment portal that Practice Ignition offer. So we do the price kind of separately on GoProposal, and then effectively type that into Practice Ignition.
Right. Okay. Are there any bits of technology, Joe, that you're looking at the moment, or is kind of all technology research for now kind of been put to one side with what's going on?
I wouldn't say it's been put to one side. I listened to one of yours last week, and Alistair Barlow was talking about Airtable. So I've now kind of started looking into that, and we've got a manual spreadsheet we use to update our workflow for a particular meeting that we have as a team, and that could easily be done much better on something like Airtable. So I wouldn't say it's done, and I wouldn't say it's like stopping because of all of this, but it's obviously taken a bit of a backseat in comparison. But we were always we have been quite tech heavy anyway. So the challenge for me is I get sold by a shiny new thing. Hence why I've got the latest iPhone, and so that's the challenge for me, is not doing that, and to kind of combat that, one of the team members has now transitioned from more of an accounting role into more marketing, business development, and kind of app development, if you like. So her role then is to kind of take away my let's buy into the latest shiny new thing type thing.
Are there any, with everything that's going on at the moment, Joe, are there any kind of opportunities at all? Like, have you guys brought any clients on, or?
Yeah. We got an inquiry last week, but as in, like, that's the first kind of actual inquiry we've had. But yeah, we've taken on we've taken on a kind of 3 or 4 new clients in the last week, and 2 of those fees have been in excess of 500 quid a month. So, we're talking like not the lower end of the fees as well. We're talking like, one of them was 1,100 quid a month, and I phoned them up and said, look, do you want to pause and, hold fire until things get moving? And they were like, no, we bought into you and we want this now. So let's get cracking. Naturally we're not seeing huge amounts of people. I spoke to a lady last week who desperately wants to move to us, but she's also concerned about rocking the boat in such an uncertain time. And I get that. So I think what we're doing is setting ourselves up for what we're kind of calling day one after this. So when this kind of starts to go away and we're back at day one, we're ready to go and we've set our marketing up. So we're doing a lot of marketing-y stuff now, newsletters, and we're doing some webinars, and I've recorded some videos and things like that we're posting out, so that we are at the forefront of people's minds. So when all this is gone and everyone goes, you know what, my accountant was horrendous, but now I'm ready because I didn't, even though they were horrendous, certainty was better than not, if that makes sense, that we're ready to sweep those up. But I've got a prospect call tomorrow morning, for example. So so they are still coming through. It's just less frequent.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a really good bit of advice, actually. Whilst times are tough and we're all speaking to clients, kind of working crazy hours and dealing with client queries and making sure they're all being looked after, actually there still needs to be an underlying marketing campaign going on. So as soon as we're kind of through all of this, actually you're the first people that the clients think of.
100%. And I think that's the same for all businesses, not just accountants as well. We've all seen in the accountant community, we've all seen the director furloughing debate. My personal opinion is every single business owner should be able to get 500 quid worth of value out of themselves in a month. And that doesn't have to be in terms of fee charging work. That can be, like you say, creating a new website, doing a marketing plan, even a business development plan for the business for the year. Who do you want to target? Why do you want to target them? What's work, what's not work. Surely that time is better spent on your business for that 500 quid you're going to get than than trying to claim the furlough for a director. Personally. So like I say, we've done. I've got on my list, I've got 5 things every day I have to do as my kind of, and they're always similar things. But one of the things that was on there every day is I've got to do one piece of business development every single day. And that could be a tiny thing. It could just be like yesterday I sent a message to a guy on LinkedIn who we've been talking for ages, and I just said, how you doing? Anything you need help with? Haven't signed him up yet, but that's kind of an element of BD, just trying to, or it might be a LinkedIn post or doing something like this, or something that's pushing your business forward, because otherwise we all just sit in a rut.
Quite.
And how does that benefit us? But also, how does that benefit our clients? We got to be on the phone being positive to them. So that's what I'm trying to do anyway.
Well, great. And in your opinion, Joe, kind of what do you think everything's going to look like once this is kind of all blown over? What's in your opinion it's all going to look like kind of in 3 months, 4 months?
I think we're going to see a radical change in how the world is now going to operate. And I think, do you know what? I think, when you go through things like Brexit, there was a massive divide. When you go through a financial crash in 2008 or whatever, there's a massive divide about whose fault it was and why. This particular scenario right now, nobody's blaming anyone else as such. People might think the government haven't done the right thing over here or the right thing over there, but in the main, everybody's pushing for the same thing. People are so much politer. Went to the supermarket and I was looking for some stuff, and normally someone would have, squeezed out in front of me and grabbed something. She waited there and said, "Have you finished?" And then went in. And I think, aside from business, I think the world is going to become, well, especially Britain. I think if we can continue the way we are, then Britain would be a nice place to be in.
I agree.
But I think nobody can really predict the financial effects that this is going to have, but it's going to be massive, isn't it? And what's going to happen is taxes are going to have to go up, you'd think, to pay for all of this. I don't see how it's possible for it to not. So we'll see. But I think, personally, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to see a relaxation of the kind of hard lockdown. And then I think we'll still have quite a lot of social distancing measures for a long time. But that's my thoughts.
I think you're right. I think I read an article in the Daily Mail this morning that suggested actually in Italy, they're starting to come out of the kind of worst part of it, and they're starting to put a plan in place as a kind of exit to the lockdowns and things that are happening. So I'm led to believe we're a few weeks behind them. So let's hope we can get through the next few weeks and everything will not be too bad. But Joe, thanks so much for your time this morning. Really nice to hear about how you guys are finding things. Hopefully the people on the call have got some ideas from that. So thanks so much. Really appreciate your time. And thanks to everyone who's listening in on Facebook. We will be putting a post out on the group to let everyone know when our next one is. And yeah, stay safe, everyone. Hope you stay safe, Joe. Stay well, and we'll catch up with everyone soon.
Great. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.